Consumer behavior has shifted, and the amount of money that is being wasted is staggering. Meanwhile, digital's no dream either. The amount of money being wasted in digital in modern marketing is profound. The amount of brands that are overspending on programmatic banner ads on the bottom of ESPN.com that nobody here sees is staggering. Influencer marketing, one of the greatest ways to do business in marketing today, one of the worst. You could pay somebody $5,000 to do a campaign and you can get nothing. You can get somebody for 800 bucks and you get a ton. This is like the ROI of a basketball. Let me explain. The ROI of social media and modern marketing is predicated on the player. The ROI of a basketball for LeBron James is $1 billion. The ROI for me is negative $4,000. I've torn both of my meniscuses. The ROI for a piano for me, 0. Billy Joel, $1 billion. A lot of people come up to me and say, Gary, social media doesn't work. I've been doing it for a year, it doesn't work. I go, the data is very clear, it works. It doesn't work for you because you suck at it. What we need to really realize in this room is it is about execution, it is about understanding, but we must get educated at scale of where the attention is of the customer. I'm so fired up about what we're about to do here in Houston and really use this epic city as a launching pad because brand is being built in social now, much more than it's being built in outdoor direct mail or television. And you're talking to somebody who still tests for his dad's liquor store in New Jersey, outdoor, local television, and print, mainly. Just do me a favor, don't tell my dad. Mainly, I'm wasting his money so I can speak with authority in moments like this. But I'm always testing it because it's important to never get high on your own supply. I'll give you an example. Drive time radio, bought the right way, still occasionally underpriced. Billboards, when you don't pay the actual price for a year or 6 months and you buy it when they have that 2-month gap where they have a different person coming in and you buy it remnant, sometimes a buy. The problem is most people are just not educated. They're not practitioners of marketing. The difference about what's happening is you have a game of haves and have-nots of practitioners. There are people who have opinions about TikTok and Facebook and Spotify, and then there are the people that actually run ads and do creative on it. That I think is the real interesting part. When I talk to CMOs, the most interesting thing of my day, 4 times a day, 12 times a week, is we will play a video and it will run and they will look at it, or we'll show them a picture and they will look at it. And they believe that their subjective opinion of the video is the right answer. The audacity of humans deciding, I don't like that picture. We didn't like that post. The audacity of not understanding, it is not about your subjective opinion. It is about the quant and qual data after the post is made to get the insight or the sale. The lack of humility in marketing today is staggering. The punchline really of my talk, and I'm so grateful to be here with all of you, is the 2 things I most care about in building large businesses, and I've been very fortunate in my young life to accomplish that quite a bit, is management and marketing. And both of them are going through actual transition. And that's gonna require us not to fully change, because 80% of what we all grew up with is exactly right. But we're gonna need to tweak. We're gonna need to tweak if we keep growing the way we've been growing. Because you know this, like the biggest vulnerability is when things are good, right? Like this again, when I saw 5, 10, 15 years, hands up, I have a funny feeling, I have a good sense of who's in this room in my prep. The biggest thing I'm scared of is things are going well. And I'm especially concerned, though optimistic, because we've obviously gotten a very significant at bat with you, is the marketing is such an arbitrage. It's such an arbitrage. I built, my dad's business went from a $3 to a $75 million business in 7 years, and I had no money, and it was because email and Google AdWords were new. And everybody else was doing full page ads in the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal, and I was buying the word wine on Google for 5 cents a click. And we're seeing the same opportunity right now in building brand. We're outflanking with our clients at Pepsi and Procter & Gamble and Kraft. We're outflanking competitors because they continue to buy commercials and billboards and direct mail, and we're crushing them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn. But it does take a mental shift. There's a big difference in marketing right now, which is potentially getting to people versus getting to them. And I think we're making too many decisions on what yesterday was about or what we feel good about. Or even occasionally, my biggest problem is when people make decisions for their ego. People would rather see a commercial during their baseball game for their company and waste money than not see the TikToks and Instagram and make more money. I will never, to the day I die, understand that. Ego and yesterday is hurting a lot of people from growing. People thinking their subjective opinion, if the picture looks good or the video's funny, is stopping people from making money. I think we need to cross the T's and I's on what I've been saying here for the last 20 minutes so that you understand it, because if we fall into it and go deep, there will be growth, significant growth. And on the management side, if we understand a couple of tweaks against the way we did it with managing our people, could create dramatic retention and acquisition of other employees. And I think that's a great debate that I'm sure a lot of us are thinking through. So we need much more practicality in our marketing, much more, because it's meant to drive business. We also need patience to build brand. It doesn't happen overnight, but we can't waste money along the way. People get impatient, start doing the wrong thing, staying the course. It's like working out. I'm sure, how many people, I just want to say it, how many people here at some point in their life decided for a New Year's resolution, I'm gonna lose some weight and get into shape? Raise your hands. And of those people, do you know how many quit on January 26th, on February 19th? And we see that a lot too in marketing. That story sums up what we're dealing with a lot, which is if you're gonna do something new, you have to actually do it. You know, if you decided you now play pickleball instead of tennis, you can't show up to the pickleball court the third time because you haven't figured it out yet with a tennis racket. You gotta keep playing pickleball. And so I'm excited about this journey, but we're empathetic. We know it's a process, especially the creative opinion. People are so used to making a subjective call on one commercial and one billboard, and it's a whole process, and now we're coming at you and saying, we're gonna put out 15 things a day. And that just is such a different thing, because you're like, am I supposed to judge this? Does my opinion mean anything? And it's a whole to do, but I'm really excited about it. I think we're gonna build something meaningful. We sold a jet engine for GE on one post on LinkedIn, and it blew everyone's minds, that company. They didn't think it could be, but marketing's the same. It's just, where's the attention? Do you put something in front of them that they want? I think the thing that the organization's gonna have to have strategic patience on is what people normally do when the market doesn't know you, is you spend heavy up front, awareness, right? You hit it, right? The problem is 99% of marketing campaigns in that model fail. So my point was, and how I built everything and how I've watched all the things that have become big built, Peloton, Tesla, all of it is build up for a little while. And to me, I always think whoever holds the breath the longest wins. So I want to hold my breath as long as possible. Now, I own tons of businesses. In that scenario, I get to make that decision. In this one part of my life, I don't. So it's about a lot of communication with what are we doing here? Because to me, the longer you can hold your breath and do that model, the more likely you're gonna know what to put out when you spend the big dollars for that awareness. It's just logical, it's science. It's science, test and learn, test and learn, test and learn, but it's not test and learn. Every time you're doing it, you're marketing and you're getting more people to know. And so it's gonna be a fun journey.